Good morning and welcome back to another episode on the Coin King channel. Bitcoin, Bitcoin, Bitcoin. All right, so I'm just gonna take a moment to reflect on yesterday. Okay, so yesterday, yesterday we were talking about a short possibility. Price comes up into here, and then there's one other place that we were talking about. So this one right here actually happened. So I got a chance to play this one right here. But then I kept trying to play the short position because from my understanding and what I kept saying to you yesterday was that the 4 hour was showing a bit of exhaustion, but every time it just seems like a lot of shorts, in my opinion, a lot of shorts were just piling in and they continue to just squeeze shorts out. There wasn't really a ton of volume on the moves to the upside, and then we had Asia session and it squeezed even more. I tried to short again at this level in here because this is around about where we had our ascending trend line for our triangular formation, but then you can see that we broke clean through that. And at that point, I just kind of gave up. I was tired. Even though I started to see the move come down a little bit, I really got tired and I didn't even want to make any more attempts on it. So right now, I've closed out. I even closed out my long position that I was in. As price started to come back down in here. And I'm starting to see some bear divs coming into the chart. We'll see how well those are going to play out. But there are lots of bear divs, but it didn't give people a lot of opportunity because it kept squeezing shorts. I don't know how many people felt like me and they was just like, screw it. But that was my mentality, was just screw it. And I think a lot of people may have missed a chance on the short in here. We talked about this level down here too, and I'm going to look back at this level and see. I don't think that we'll get to this one just yet. This is a previous day low, so I'm going to move this into here. This could be something in here. We'll see about that. And delete that now. We'll see about this right here. Right now, we've taken the liquidity. We didn't really take this portion of the liquidity. So we could still come down, maybe bounce and hit this 786 or something like that. We've already broken the taking the liquidity over this trend line right here. So like I said, I'm seeing a few bear divs on the 15-minute time frame. It's just all about whether or not they play out or if we just get the move up. We built up some liquidity up here, so at some point this is going to be taken. You can see how we kept hammering up here. So this, I expect for this to be taken here at some point today. At some point today. Volume is still relatively low right now. I know that we do have, let's see. Today we have, no, actually today we don't actually have anything. Today's the 17th. It's Tuesday. We don't really have anything to really focus on the day. Pending home sales is about it. Tomorrow is when all the chaos starts. So maybe we're just in preparation for tomorrow's chaos. We move forward here. So I think this is the same level right here. It's going to look different on the 15-minute as opposed to my 1 hour time frame. But this is the exact same level right here that I said I've been watching on this one right here. That's the same liquidity up top that I think the market makers will come back in and go for that liquidity there. But we'll see how we do if price comes down here into this double bottom right here. And then we have this ascending trend line over here. We can see if this will hold up for another tap or if we're gonna start to roll over after that. And again, bear divs. So I mean, bear divs on the 15-minute. It would just be my luck, It would just be my luck, and it beats like that sometime, I just figured, forget about it up there. We did a whole outside bar and all that good stuff. I forget about it. I don't even care about the short anymore. I just wait on the next opportunity with something that's a little bit more favorable. But nothing I can do right now except for look for a new long. So that's what I'm trying to do. See how that goes. This was supposed to be our short right here. So when price came up into this trend line right here, this was supposed to be our short. But as you can see, that didn't happen. We took the liquidity over this trend line right here. Now we didn't get a closure above it, as you can see. That's the mess that really pissed me off, because we did manage to close above it, but they played in our faces. Look at that drop. They played in our face yesterday, and they played in our face yesterday, and tried to keep us from getting involved in the short position. So it worked for me. See that little drop we just got into that 786. Let's see. I may have to take a couple of L's here this morning. We'll see. But no closure above it. Just straight up stopping out shorts. Was it just squeezing on shorts? 4 hour time frame once again, because the RSI on the 4 hour was relatively strong yesterday. I think we got into about 78, almost 80 on the RSI, and then finally. So right now, we're at a support level on the RSI on the 4 hour time frame, which if that doesn't hold, then we're here at the 786. So we just took all of that Asia liquidity from yesterday. So Asian session right here. So we did take that just now into the 786. Let's see how we bounce away from here. I entered into this position as fast as I could, even though I'm telling you I see the bear days. I want to see if we can't hold it. Like I said, I might have to take a couple of L's this morning. I thought I was faster than what they showed me, but apparently I wasn't. Apparently I wasn't. Uh yeah. Let's see how this goes. And if it's not going to be this, then we're going to look down here again around the 73 1, or let's just say this low here is 72,990. And something like that. Taking this liquidity, put us into a golden pocket, and then get another drop. We'll see. Kind of looks a little funny in here, but what a day. What a day. I think right in here also, I know just below here is like a 200 EMA the last time I looked at it. I know that it is rolling over a little bit. Yeah, at a 200 right here. Which, sometimes they hold that support, sometimes they don't, and you actually break through them. So I'm trying not to focus on these little moving averages. Try not to focus on that. But Asia station liquidity taken from yesterday in the 786. Possibly we come in and we take the liquidity in here, which also gives us an ascending trend line of possible support. My music just stopped on me. I was having this problem yesterday too. Let's see. Let me unplug. In case that was messing with my audio as well. Uh, I think that brought it back. So just keep in mind again, this could get worse. And like I said, we could be looking at this situation in here before we actually see some sort of a bounce to the upside. But again, the liquidity that was building in here, that will get snatched up at some point. So at least let's just say if we got to move from here up to there, you'd at least have that move right there in your eyes. Okay. Um, They're gonna pay. The loans about to pay, and here I am trying it. But yeah, I was beating myself up this morning when I woke up and I looked at the chart and I saw that we had dropped down here. I was like, oh my gosh, if I'd have just, I mean, because I could have, but it was, yeah, it was too painful to try to take it from, well, as I did take it from there. But like I said, I got stopped out. Or actually I had to close that out because it doesn't actually, hold on, where's my short? This was it. I think this was it right here. I was showing another one that was another position I was in, but this was the last time I tried to take the short up there. Like I said, around that trend line, our trend line that we were looking for to hold up at, and then of course they kept squeezing, so had to let it go. So that was that right there. I had to let it go, and then I woke up and I was like, oh great, that is. I woke up and I was like, maybe I just should have started through a little bit more pain. No. No. It's a good little girl. I let it be. But the one that was here, I more so scalped that one. Um, when we talked about that one, I just scalped it. So, but something is missing. Long close the rest of my long position there. So not sure. This is the one that I took from right here, and I think I took about 70% off the table early, and then I tried to leave the rest to run, but of course price came back because I was thinking the 4 hour was going to cool off a little bit more, but this was this one. Remember, I had the circle over here, and then I said, we did get something. If price comes back up, I'm going to short it. So price did come back up. And I caught the SFP off of that, and I got. I don't know. That's the wrong thing. How am I on that again? Why does it keep doing that? Yeah, I think I got it in here anyway. I think I have it in here. Yeah, I already got it in here anyway. So that was the short from here. What we talked about. If price came back up here, I was going to short it. So I did short that. I just wanted that big short, and I couldn't get it. So it is what it is. Wanted that big short. So right now, again, I'm going to see if price will bounce away from the 786. If it does not, since we have taken the liquidity from here, have taken this one. If it does not bounce from here, then I think their price may come down here for liquidity in here. Maybe it's just this portion, or it could also want to include this part right here. It will be a structural shift. However, that could be the reason why price goes up. It takes some additional, some more liquidity from the downside. I expect for this to be taken. So if I take, I'm in this one right here, which like I said, I might get stopped out a few times, trying to take it. Stop losses are tight on the move. So if it doesn't hold here, I will try it again down in here and just see what the reaction is like. I will say again, I don't want to not say, but we do again have some bearishness on this 15-minute time frame. 4 hour. Ugh. This is supposed to be support for the 4 hour. You can see it right here. Let me just drop these two. It's supposed to be support for the 4 hour right here on the RSI. But like I said, they played in our face yesterday with the RSI, and it could be held to pay. It could be held to pay today. It could be held to pay today. Again, this is the ascending trend line here with the double bottom liquidity sitting there around 73.35. Don't forget you have to add this in. I omit the wicks, but the wicks have the liquidity. Okay, so got some fresh coffee. All right. Oh, it's delicious too. I hope everyone had a good day yesterday. Made some money. I still make money on my long up here, which, like I said, after this rolled over, I didn't take the pro. I didn't start taking money out of my long up here. I waited, and I just made the decision. You know what? I need to get out of my long because as long as I'm in my long, I'm just gonna keep letting that play. You know, it's gonna keep doing this right here, and really, I'll just go ahead and take the profits from that, and then I'll look at another one. I had already taken about, I don't know, I only had probably about 10% left in that trade, which wasn't really doing much for me. Right now, that extra that I had left on the long is going to cover my stops. It's going to cover my stops. Or we're holding as an inside. Hopefully close. Not to mention the MACD for the first time in a long time. MACD is different. It's not bullish right now. So MACD right now, you can see MACD is below Delta now. That's another clue that price action may want to come down lower as it is below Delta. Delta is up here now, and MACD is down below it. So you see this little red cross right here that lets me know that MACD crossed below Delta, which again isn't bullish. It's not bearish either. It just increases the odds of price action going against you. In that case, you want the MACD to be above Delta, and you can see how MACD stayed above Delta with all of the corrections that it got through here, making this move up. It stayed above Delta. Now it's below it. My little signal had came in yesterday too. It came in right here. My signal to short it. I was tired. I didn't feel. I didn't. I was tired. I was tired of Bitcoin playing shenanigans. The daily started to read bullish for the first time. I don't know if you guys noticed that. Unlike here, how it reads bears and control. The daily for the first time in a long time reads bulls and control. Oh yeah, and the measured move that we were looking for in here too. So I just knew for sure I was going to get this short. It didn't work for me. Look at that wick. I probably wouldn't have cared as much if I'd have used a smaller size on my position. Um, a more comfortable size, let me put it like that, a more comfortable size for myself on a position. Because that wasn't a lot of a move when you look at it from a daily perspective. But gosh, that hurt. That really hurt my feelings. USDT also, Tether. So I was watching Tether as I was making my decision yesterday too. So, Tether, I've been saying that I felt that Tether could get down to here, so we would lose this section in here, which it did start to lose it yesterday. I saw that, but then I figured, okay, that might be a little bit of overkill, and Tether come back in, blah blah blah. Anyway, all of these variables, but anyway, Tether still can get down here to this trend line right here, and to the support level right here is still what I'm looking for. So I am still under the belief that Bitcoin can get higher. But right now, we're still waiting on Tether. So it's holding support. Managed to grab a hold and make it support instead. Um, and my line is kind of perfect for thought. Um, Yep, yep, yep. So let's see what happens with Tether. Um, but still looking for Tether to come here, possibly bounce off of this trend line right here. That'll be it for Bitcoin. And to move up. Now, if Tether breaks this because it was a bearish formation, then, great for everybody who's long. But I'm under the impression that Tether probably bounce from here first. First attempt, it'll probably bounce, and then the next attempt, if there's a fourth, because it'll be 1, 2 connected, the third attempt on this trend line, well, the first attempt on this trend line, it'll bounce, second attempt coming back into it, probably fail, and then about to roll over a bit, but still under the impression that Tether will come down to here. And if it does something different, then it's nothing we can do about that. The VIX is at support right now, so let's see how the VIX acts today as well. So another rejection from my trend line here on the S&P 500. Let's see what that's going to do as well today. So there's my focus. Have you seen Circle killing it? Oh my goodness. Circle has been killing it. And I hope it continues. I'm just going to keep 786 visible. I know I'm about to add another line in here, and I'm just trying to highlight the inside range right now. Just let me see. Yeah. That did me no good because I'm already talking about this high. I'm talking about this low. So mm, we're in New York session. New York open. Something like that. Let me show you how we drop below the cloud. The cloud starts to push up against us a little bit, and that's why I'm able to see the bear deals right now. So you can see how right in here it turned upwards some more, and I knew we were going to break that. So looking for that liquidity to be taken into the 76. And it could get a lot worse at this point. So see what they want to do. But for now, looking at this area right in here to the downside and this area here to the upside. This is my downside. This is my upside. Yesterday, I had even started looking at my rejection point on my daily. It had been rejecting there every time. Everything looked like it was going to line up for me, and then we broke through it, and I mean we got some behavior changes on that daily. I'm pretty sure loans are piling in. Let me see. Yeah, there's liquidity right through here. And again, I always put it on the body, but it would be this. It would be all of this right here. Double bottom. We're gonna come for that. I was looking at my daily yesterday, and um, so I was like, maybe this is gonna hold it out again because it's pretty clean in terms of you know rejection points in here. And then it came up and it pushed up a lot more than what it looks like right now. You can't really tell right now, but it did push up a lot more above um, that regression line. Oh boy. Yes, it's some loans coming in, so they may want to start squeezing loans a little bit. They may. Again, I took the loan off of this 786, which, I know that it can get stopped out, and then I'll probably have to look down here instead, which is okay. Which is why I said I might get stopped out once or twice, trying to catch this move. I don't want price to move too far away from me making my attempts. So, yeah, I jumped in on this for a loan and see if it works. And if not, then I drop my eyes lower for this area down here, unless we do like some sort of a liquidity grab from this. inside range right here on that mother bar, and then pop back in. Maybe that I would have to just move the fib extension. I probably could have just did that instead of, let me see, put it back. I think we talked about this. Okay, yeah, we just do it like that instead. So that lines up with our liquidity down here. Yeah, I really hate for I hate for a fib level to be sitting at lows instead of highs. It makes the fib retracement less reliable. It's less reliable. So more likely to fail a fib test if it's sitting at lows, because at lows it's sitting at liquidity, and market makers think of that liquidity and crap about your fib. They're going for the liquidity. I think we got the understanding about those two little trend lines right there. So let's go ahead and get rid of those. Let's go ahead and get rid of those. And volume shice. I'm just gonna hide that volume. Have a little left on the chart. We're moving so slow in here, so it's a problem. It is a problem. We almost hit that 43 too. We'll see if they want to try for that today. So right in here, you can see we're talking about 43. That's going to be your largest strike price. You can even see how much it increased. No update has actually come in just yet. Um, Here, let me refresh it a bit. This is still old data. They won't update it until tomorrow, but you can see how much it even increased in here. So, uh, yeah, that's a big one. And it will likely be a barrier. That's going to be a problem right there. Still big gap. Um, I saw us do this little one right here yesterday on the drop down from the short that I took yesterday. We did that one, then came back up and filled that in. We saw this one right here get filled yesterday. Right here, we do still have this one open. I still have the alert on this one, so we do still have this CME gap down here open. We filled this one in right here, no problems. I'm gonna take this away. And then we filled that one in early yesterday, so we do still have the one that's down here. Think there's anything else in here for me to review. Yeah, just still the gap that's here. So let me just see. So like before I check. Right now, again, I'm trying along right here. Trying along this. I'll bring this up to here. This stop is really tight. Just like that. So it's a real tight stop loss. To aim for liquidity in here. But if we don't get that, then again, I think price comes down here and takes this liquidity. Price takes this liquidity. Say it takes this liquidity. Maybe that'll do it right here. It takes this and then I'll look for it to come up here and take that liquidity right there. And possibly, continue a little bit higher than that. But I mean, this is basically what I'm looking at, guys. Again, I have to see how we react. Um, I would have to see how we react when we get here, whether or not we would drop this low and take all of this, or if we leave that liquidity alone. So, I mean, it is 786 in here, but I will have to see how that goes. It's not about to be 5. Be that. Be the same thing. That's it. I don't mind. That's what a stop loss is for. And that's what risking is all about. Trying to it's the risk. So I'll lose small if I lose. It's okay. I think a lot of people, the worst thing is losing. Okay, well, losing hurts our feelings. I mean, say the worst thing is losing because it's not. Losing big is the worst thing. Losing small, take a small loss. Take a small loss. Nobody wants to be wrong. Those last two times we came really close to that low. So, I mean, yeah, those last two candles came really close to that low. Just wavering, breaking that. Mm. We're riding standard deviation to Bollinger Band. So crazy crap is we put in a bear div all the way from this end over here to this high. I'm salty about this. I'm so salty about it. So you can see how from here to here, we never made it back up to that height, but they kept squeezing us out. If you were trying to short yesterday, I hope that there are some people in here who were successful with that short yesterday. I was successful with this one, but when it got here and it came to our trend line, I was not successful. And yeah, I took a very, 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 very small loss, which is cool. But still, I'm salty about that because I'm salty. I'm salty on that move. Mm. It's looking a little berry again. It's a little berry. Just looking at it. Compare it. It's a little bearish. Like mm. But that's what we're building up inside of our little range right now. Is this? Yeah, that sucks. Mm. This actually is, it holds truer than using a BRBP volume. Um, show you. Remove that. I actually like it better. I had started doing this with it. The only thing is, of course, this is going to start moving at some point, but this is actually a lot better. And right here, I'm using three, and the actual VWAP itself. So I'm using the three, and I'm using the VWAP, but this holds better. Like, you're more likely to come to. It gives you a better sense of what your value high can be after your first touch into it, though. It doesn't become as useful as this right here after your first touch into it. After that, you likely won't get back to it. And then this becomes a little bit more useful, but it's always going to line up with somewhere around about where the POC is, the VWAP is. And I just like it in ranges. I don't like it outside of a range, but this is my little range right now. Right, 15 minutes. We're going to try to do right here. Good morning, Why Crypto YT. Small stop loss, keep you in the game, and definitely a no burn account. Right, no burn account. Like if we're gonna make some money, I have to take the risk. And if I'm losing, I just want to lose a little bit. Um, I don't think a lot of people just really share how many times you get stopped out trying to take a trade. That's why I'm just saying, like, I might get stopped out a few times, but it's going to be a small loss, and then I just have to reevaluate things as price is moving. But yeah, you get stopped out a lot trying to catch a winning trade, especially when you're trying not to be too far from where that deviation might be. Are you in any? Are you any? I'm stuttering. Are you in any positions? I know why I'm tongue twisted with that. Are you in any positions? Not right now. Okay. BTCC. BTCC is, I've complained about. I mean, they do give you access to a lot of stuff that you won't get access to it elsewhere. Um, they're a little tricky, but I use them too. Actually turn this point of control off on here. Really care for that here. Just use the VWAP. I've really only used BTCC to trade like um, some stocks Tokenized stocks. I have yet to take a crypto trade on that account. But then there are specific tokenized stocks that I can trade that give me fair price entries if I just want to mark it in, because a lot of them won't. Weeks. I don't think I can use weeks though, since I'm in the United States. That sucks too. That you know we all get limited to what platforms we can use. Great. I really didn't think that this little thing was gonna break up right here. I was like, this was bearish. I'm gonna keep this little range since we're in here, still within it. Okay, I can see we're coming up crucial level on the 15-minute works. I'm sorry for the late response. I use Blowfin. That's it. Blowfin and BTCC, but that's it. Like I said, with BTCC, I only trade the tokenized stocks, and on Blowfin, I trade stocks and gold is like the only other thing I've ever traded on. Well, I tried silver once, but yeah, mainly crypto, but Blowfin, yeah, um, and BTCC. There's those two. Um, I hold long term on Coinbase, and then when it comes to my other long term holds with the stock market, then it's Webull. So those two are investments for me, Webull and Coinbase, and everything else. Those other two I'll use to trade. Okay, we're coming into the top side of a mother bar if we get there. Um, trying to see how much of a barrier this might create. So far, I think it's pretty apparent, right? Drop this. to. um, We might put in um, some more bear dips above here. And that is if we get in here to take that piece of liquidity. I think I'll cut a small portion of my position. I won't be overly greedy or anything like that. Just go ahead and take something from it. And then that'll minimize my stop as well because I'm not going to move my stop. So I still end up taking a small loss if price comes down here. Nice too. Yeah. And at this point, this is at least a 1 to 1. This is at least a, oh, there we go, there we go. So we'll go ahead and cut something off of it. I'm trying to be, I want to be greedy, but I'd rather lock something in. And if I'm blessed, then, I get what I get. I missed it. Like, as soon as I hit it, it started to reject a little bit right there. Okay. All right. So I did take something out of this position. And now my stop will remain where it is, which is how it's set up in here. And then if price comes back, I still would take a small loss, but my loss won't be, it'll be even smaller. It'll be even smaller. So there we go. We took the liquidity off the top here. I did close out some of this. So now I just sit on the rest of it to see if we won't continue up to take the liquidity from this high up here. Okay. Once we actually start to trade outside of this, not just take the liquidity over it, then I will I'll drop this situation we have going on here with the anchor VWAP. It's just to monitor the range. Yes. No, actually, I'm not. Hold on. Let me make sure. This might be correct. Yeah, I get stopped out with profit. I'll take a small little loss, but I will get stopped out with profit because it was actually more than a 1-to-1 on the exit right here. So yeah, it'll be very small. But since it was a little bit more than a 1-to-1, I will get stopped out in profit. I really hope it doesn't have to come to that. I don't trust. I just don't. I don't know. I mean, I expect for us to go higher. It's just, I don't know. The way we've been moving is just kind of been a little odd for me. Okay, it looks like we're flipping this into support now. Could be good if we are, but it is just a 1 minute time frame. Oh, nice, nice. I hope it's going higher. I really do. I really do. So I was when I got in my head yesterday on the short, I was like, okay, I'm done trying on it. And then I was really hoping like maybe to come into the 382 or something like that, since it just straight up disrespected where we were looking at the stop yesterday, the short yesterday. Um, so I started looking at the 382, and we came close to the 382, but we just didn't tap it, and then we reversed. I'm gonna put this in here. All right, we're still battling this outside this range. Not managing to close. Well, it's slightly here, right there. What is that? It's a little rising. I know the selling pressure did cool off quite a bit in here, and it actually even threw out a signal that the selling pressure was had cooled off of this low. But okay, I think I can drop this now because it is just the 1 minute. I'll take this away as well. I'm gonna flip us back on the 15-minute time frame so I don't get caught up in the short game. It's open that candle. 15 minutes selling pressure still cooled off a little bit though. But I had drew a fib off of actually drew the fib, yeah, here it is. So I was like, okay, maybe we tap into this 382 right here, but you can see how we missed it by a little bit. It's the same thing we did up here. We kind of missed the 382 right when we had it up there. So we just sort of missed the 382 right here. I got all of this stuff in here. Yeah, just to make it easier. I'll look back at that on my own later. But this field right here, of course, had to be drawn without the wicks because the wicks were liquidity grabs. So it had to be drawn like this. Because that was going to be my next short attempt. Was going to be just for the 4 hour, not because I don't think that we can't go higher, because I do. I've said that plenty. But us coming back into the channel, taking the liquidity from the top side of this mother bar right here. It's just the 4 hours that giving me chills. It's just hurt my feelings because we didn't stop out there. There is a good chance that we don't come back below here. There's a good chance that we may not, that we may just range until we break out. If we did, it wouldn't be too much further. I know a lot of people are thinking about the, I don't know, 30,000 or something like that. I don't know that because there is a chance that we don't. There's a chance that we don't get back to our money. Just trying to look at any possible fair deals we might get. It's good. We are starting to put in that slight fair deal against this high over here, against this area over here. So, this could be if that is the case. That looks crazy. That looks kind of. Let's see the symmetry in it. Mm, let's see. That made sense. Okay, maybe it did have a little bit more symmetry. Come on, Bitcoin. The 20 estimate. That was what we projected from this 20 estimate. That's a 26 right there, but it is the 20. Yeah, actually, it's 20 something right there. Let's see what else it was. Hey, okay, I did do it like this. It's kind of wrong. Yeah. It would be good if we could hold the range and not without coming back inside. Um, since we have clothes outside of it. Look back at a 1 minute real quick. Come on, Bitcoin. Okay. Nice. It looks so cute on this 1 minute. It's really cute on the 1 minute. We just hit that 20 SMA again. This is a high we're trying to hold too from the daily. Um, it was the high from the 13th, Friday 13th. So I think that's what this drop was to that high. I think so. It's this right here. Where did I put it at? Yeah. Okay, so it's, yeah, it's actually this. Okay, so this is that high, the 13th that we flipped back into support. Is this? Okay. All right, we're getting through that 20, or at least we're trying to get through that 20. Yay. Let's go. I'm gonna go back to a 15-minute because this is gonna make me antsy watching it on a 1 minute. And this isn't even asking for a lot. Come on, Bitcoin. Mm-mm. Something is happening to, I know, pump it. Pump it. So I can stop beating myself up about that short. We do still have that slight bearishness, slight bearish against this liquidity right in here. If it just shoots a candle up, that'll be good. But we are, you can see we're putting in some slight bearishness against that. So just in case we don't make it, remember we might have to look down here just in case we don't, which I'm hoping we do, but just in case we don't, we might have to look at this scenario right in here. Okay. This area was so hard for us all across here. It's really hard for us to get past. So it's amazing how easily we drop back below it. So can the bull squeeze us back above this level? That's going to be the thing. It was very, very difficult to get past it to start with. And now, and then we come fall straight through it, and then we had troubles again. So let's go. Yeah, I've got that little bear div. We do have that little bear div right now. I see it a lot clearer from this thing right here. But you can see the bear div right here. But it didn't matter this entire time because this was a whole bear div. All right, guys. So I know it's about to be 8 o'clock, so let's just run back through it. All right, so I'm looking at this liquidity in here being taken. Since we chopped this wall right here, if we could just get there. We're moving really slow, so we are getting a little bit of bear divs on this move up. Um, I don't know how much the bear divs are gonna matter because again, like I said, we did bear div. They squeezed all shorts out all through here. I am looking for higher. I just want it to make sense when we move, which is why it's just kind of knocked a little bit, making sense because it's I don't know. I guess consistent squeeze instead of just being able to make the move. Honestly, honestly. Again, trouble zone through here. as you can see, resistance, resistance, resistance. And then when you look at it from your higher time frame, again, resistance. So just watching this, and if we make it through here first and we close above it, then we have to be looking for a higher low and move back down. So I would look for this to hold that same level right here, um, which again is going to be the Friday the 13th candle wick high, is this right here. If we lose that, we come below here, then I'll be looking at the liquidity that's down here. You saw it from the 1 hour perspective, which, you know, is double bottom down here. Now it does change structure if we are taking this down here. The closing below here is really like the important thing, um, per se. It'd be the closing, but you have the ascending trend line over here, and you also have double bottom liquidity in here. That could be a thing. It could be. Hopefully, we don't come to that and we continue our move up. Where am I looking for? We continue our move up. Hopefully, this time, if we do break through here, we break through here honestly. So, let me put it over here on this time frame. So, we got it like this right here, where I was looking at this for a short yesterday, but when we came up, we pushed straight through it, which is embarrassing because we pushed clean through it. So, I decided to kill my short, and yeah, I got frustrated and got in my head, so I let that go, and then ended up coming back down without getting the closure above it, which is nice. So if we do come back up and break through here, what I'm looking for is I'm looking for us to take the liquidity from the top side of this range right here. That's what I'm looking for. Take the liquidity from the top side of our mother bar from my weekly time frame and push into our ascending trend line. That's what I'd be looking for. The other things too that I mentioned to you is going to be something like this right here, where how it actually pushed, like, well, we can see that it pushed through this one, but maybe it wants to stall out a little bit at this one, which would be more of a bear flag situation instead. So we have that. I would be watching Tether with the move. I would watch Tether. Um, yeah, hopefully we can flip this. Because that, I mean, it's top. It's a double top right there. Anyway, I would watch Tether as well. Because the idea for Tether is that Tether comes down here to this trend line right here, which is also, there's a zone for it. But I'm looking at Tether coming back to this trend line. You can see how Tether pushed back inside of the flaggy structure. I don't know what to call it. It is flaggy. It doesn't look bullish in my opinion because the bigger picture is a bearish formation. So that would be the ultimate goal. We are rejecting a little bit more off of that bear div on Bitcoin. Mm, let's take a look. And we have that little CME gap that we didn't fill in either. So it's not a rush, but I think that CME gap is about right in here, which there it's not going to line up with this chart, but the CME gap is down here. Yeah, that's right. So if we're taking the liquidity in here, which would mean this liquidity right here too, if we're taking it, then I'm looking at this fair value gap right here. That's why I got the 50 over it. And so that's an entry option if it comes to this. Now, I don't know how it's going to act in here, but that could also be an entry option in case it decides not to do this, because again, it does change structure a bit.
And I think that also puts us below like the 200 in on 15 minute time frame too, which is not the end all be all. 200 is right here. 400 runs parallel with this ascending trend line right here. I'm not going to be focused on whether or not I'm above or below the 200. That really doesn't matter to me. Maybe that'll do it for the 4 hour retracement. Perhaps. But by the end of the day, I'm thinking we'll still take this liquidity up here, and that's what really matters to me is getting a nice move back up here. And then we'll see how this works as resistance at that point if it continues to be resistance. See if I had to draw this now. I got to go. It had to do it like this. That would be golden pocket instead. As long as we're not coming down here towards the previous day low. As long as we're not doing that, we're staying somewhere between where this entry is here and in here with this liquidity, then cool. We just don't need to be down here. That's a good thing for me. If I pull this all the way to our low, just to see, just to see. Uh oh, move that out the way. Yeah, I don't want nothing to do with that. So that's not the goal. It's not the goal at all. Okay. And know that this is liquidity on the heat map too. And usually I would look for something like that. Um, Given, like I said, this was straight up bearish divergence on this time frame right here. Usually I would look for something like that, but I hope not. Just see this without the wicks. Uh-oh, my mic just did something again. Okay, Guess it wasn't my 8 kit was. It's just this app, this platform. Yeah, the platform has been a little shisty. But anyway, that's the play for today. So yeah, as long as we're not outside of this marker here, then there's still the hopium. Well, we will face this resistance in here because it was major resistance. It's major resistance, and we just squeezed out shorts to get higher yesterday. So we'll see if they want to squeeze out longs because we have Fed fund stuff coming up. So that will be important. That could be why we're moving a little salty right now. All right, so that's not working. Anyway, I appreciate you so much for joining me today. And this is our playbook. So let's see how this goes. Again, this could still be like, you want to see what the reaction is like in here. This could still be a play if we lose this. I just put it down here because I really, it's fuel. It's fuel. And we had not been taking any fuel to go higher. We've just been squeezing. And I look forward to seeing you in the morning. I'll let you know how the rest, well, you'll know how the rest of this position plays out. Um, let's see. A little slight bear dip, like I said, a little slight bear dip. Um, so we're just sideways in this range in here. And USDT dominance trying to hold that support a little bit. Um, VIX is at support also. Yeah, yeah. Um, VIX is also at support, just like USDT dominance is holding a little bit of support. So yeah, we gotta watch that. We gotta watch that. All right, later.